You couldn't even hear me. I wasn't even live. You couldn't hear me. Hey, hey. Um, I don't think anybody knows that well, no, I know nobody knows that I'm live because I did not schedule this and I'm not going to be scheduling these. So these are not going to be scheduled. They're going to be at my leisure whenever I just sit down and do anything. I don't think this one is going to be very long. Also, I'm talking to no one right now, but I'm just saying. Um, these could go from an hour or two to really, really long because I am just like that. That's how I work. When I get into something, I immerse myself in it. And so if that's what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be in it for as long as possible. Hey, introverted empath. Um, when I do projects and stuff that just tickles my fancy, I will sit for as long as possible. Sometimes I don't eat. Um, I'll be up until the wee hours of the morning type of thing. So just letting you know that for this particular series, I could go live anytime. I'm so serious. So just letting y'all know that preemptively because it's new. I'm excited. I was just talking to Alicia about how excited I am at this juncture with all the ideas I've been getting and my plans and stuff to do this different things. I have a whole new content plan that I've put together, 3 months worth of content that's going to be starting in January. It's going to be a whole lot. It's going to be structured exactly how I want it. So, okay, so in my mind, when I came up with this platform, I wanted there to be a certain kind of structure. Hey, Jamal. It says I have to catch the replay, but great job. Also, your frames look great. Thank you. Yeah, these I've had these for a couple of months now. These are like my super duper favorites. Thank you. I get so many compliments. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I have content coming up in the new year that's going to be highly structured and it's starting to look the way I wanted this platform to look. The angle that I'm taking with the messaging and everything like that has come together so nicely. Like I'm really excited again about the process of content creation, about what it is that I'm going to be creating over here. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Thank you. Yeah, I got these. So, okay. I had my old glasses. I hadn't got a new prescription in like 4 years, but you know how if you wear glasses, you start feeling like, okay, these aren't working the way they're supposed to work. So I went to Vision Works and got my prescription and stuff. And then I went on, I got these from Zulu. So I got both my frames from Zulu. I got these frames, and if you've ever seen me with the all clear, like cat eye frames with the little stones right here, the little jewels, I also got those from Zelo, but those ones, so I had gotten that style, that exact style, the 4 years ago when I got my glasses then that go round, and I like those so much because those are like my formal glasses, my fancy glasses. I like those so much, and I used to get so many compliments on them that I rebought them in the refresh prescription, and then I saw these because I had some purple ones. I probably still got them somewhere. I have a problem. I got some purple ones that were metal frame, but they were just regular purple metal frame, and they had like a square with kind of a slight little at the top. But no, I saw these ones and I love them, and they have the thing. So my purple ones had the little gap there too. They were like half the size, but they had like a little gap at the top where the lens didn't touch the frame. And so when I saw these, I was like, oh my God, I love these. And they have the iridescent. So these are like my favorite things ever. And they're nice and big. So they're like widescreen, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I'm here. I'm just getting everybody in. I wanted to let me share this out too. That's the invite link. No, I don't want to do that. How do I share this from here? Let me see. That's a invite guest. I don't know. Y'all share it. Y'all share it. I don't know. But I think people will see. People will see. Thank you. But yeah, so we are gathered here today. Do I need to make a new intro for the tech thingy? I might. I don't know, because I just be extra with these things. I like playing in all these apps. We're gathered here today because I am building an app. Hey, Alicia. I am building an app. And I wanted, this one is not necessarily, I don't know if I'm actually going to get into actually doing any building today. I just kind of want to get into the background of why, what it is, what the app is supposed to do, why I wanted to build it, all of those types of things to kind of get it so we're all on the same page about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, everything, begin at the beginning. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I did. Girl, I'm so proud of myself. Because I do my own nails and I like these so much. I wanted some hood rat nails, right? I wanted these so much and I loved them so much. They came out so well. I didn't even paint them. I just left them, with the nude color. So I am very much so enjoyed by it. Every day I'm just looking at my nails like, yes, you did that, girl. So yes. And I think I ordered some more poly gel because we got to keep this going. I got to do my feet and yes, I've been since school the semester's over. I took my finals on Tuesday. I took my finals on Monday and Tuesday, or no, Saturday for my sociology final. I took it, and then that next Tuesday I took my tech final. Tech was just Microsoft Office Suite. And so that, can I just say, it's so funny that I took that course and just happened to get into this thing of like, oh, I want to make these apps, because as I'm kind of doing this stuff, I'm learning about how to use Excel, and how to really get into using Word and like use all the features and this and that and the other. So I'm just like, all this stuff kind of goes together. So I love when alignment, and it's helping me to be able to like understand the language a bit more, and just I just like when all the stuff that I'm interested in coincides, or I like seeing how things just kind of overlap and go together. But yeah, I got 104.5 in my sociology class. That is my final grade. I was just like, you could do that? I was so happy. I was so happy. I was so happy. And I got like a B in my technology thing because it was getting on my nerves. Like, it was all online and it was all automated, and you had to, go in and do the lessons and then take the test, and then just your grade is your grade, your grade. So what kind of took me down is when I first started the class, I didn't fully understand the system, the online system. So I had missed like an assignment or two. And I'm talking about like the first week of class, I had missed an assignment or two. So that's why I was always kind of at a deficit with my grade in the Western Face class. But I still got a B. Like, I'm not, I don't put it on myself to have to make dean's list or anything like that. I'm just like, let me just get it done. I'm a 40-year-old woman. Okay, like I'm trying to do a lot of things. I feel like an octopus, so I just try to do everything sufficiently, and we do good. But I was really excited about my sociology class was my favorite class. I think so far of the whole thing, it was my favorite class. It felt the most academic, which is surprising for me. But I think what it is I do enjoy structure and having. I like to be able to just know this is what is expected of me. This is what you're looking for. This is what you want. So I could just do it. Right. And it was so, even though it was highly academic and it was a bit of a learning curve for me, because I'm a very artistic person, I'm a very creative person, I'm a very emotive person, intuitive person, and I did have to learn how to draw back on some of that to just purely just the facts. You know what I mean? Just be academic. And so I appreciated it because on the one hand, I kind of took a lot of pressure off of myself of, oh, I'm trying to have flair and everything. They're not looking for flair. They're looking for, that kind of opened me up to not have to think it's hard. I don't, you know what I mean? Like it made it simpler, but more complicated at the same time because again, I lean towards the dramatic and the emotive. So there was that. Um, but yeah, but now, I'm saying that now that school is over, I took a day or two to just kind of just relax. Then I was like, okay, let me do my nails, do my hair and stuff because I do want to be, I'm trying to get myself together. Ultimately, like I said, I have a new content plan. Some of y'all weren't in the room when I said I have a content plan for for the first quarter of the new year. I have a content plan laid out. I'm trying to get everything together so that I literally just have to kind of just show up and just do. I got my new ring light situation connected to my table. Um, what else is going on? I'm trying to run off all the things that I've been doing to like get myself together to remove all of the I don't want to say excuses because they weren't just excuses, they were reasons. Like I was going through things, I was experiencing difficulties with certain things, and just it was overwhelming sometimes to try to do this thing that felt kind of like a hobby in the midst of all this other more pressing stuff that I felt like I needed to be getting done that I just wasn't making any headway in. So it's like now that I like I said, I cleaned out my space. I got it to a point where I feel like I have that that extra bandwidth to give to do to just do this stuff and not feel like I'm pushing. I'm going to do it like this. Don't know if I'm always going to be on camera. Mind you, in my mind, I was going to have makeup on for this, but I was just like, you know what? No, hair is enough. Hair is enough. And so this is a work in progress for me of letting go of that perfectionist spirit of being able to tell myself, like, no, girl, you did enough. This is enough. You know what I mean? Like, let's just get this done. Let's knock this out. Um, so yeah, but I'm very much so excited about aside from this, the other content that I have planned. I think you guys are going to like it. It's going to be fun. It's all in good fun. So yeah. So I guess I want to start with explaining what it is that I am trying to build through this app that I'm trying to build. So I'll just tell you the story. I was at my aunt's house. This was over Thanksgiving break. I was just perusing on TikTok as usual, as one does. And I was seeing Dominique Morgan discussing the whole quarter zip, we do quarter zips and matcha thing. In fact, maybe I can find it. Because we want a thorough understand. I didn't ask you any of that. I'm not looking for you. Okay. Quarter zips and matcha. Original. Can you pause? Pause. Okay. Sharing the screen. Okay.
Nike tag. We don't do coffee. There's straight quarter zips and matchas around here. He was talking about putting on a Nike Tech to come outside. I told him, what are you doing? You upgraded in life. You wear glasses now. You wear quarter zips. Like, you don't do Nike Tech. You don't do those. Talk to him.
Yo.
Talk to us.
Yesterday I was in the hood. Today I'm wearing this sweater. I'm in Blank Street, gang. Change your life, gang. Put the tech down.
Tech down. Quarter zips up. You heard? Quarter zips and stop. Come on, talk to us.
Amen, bro. We out.
Jesus love you. We love you. God bless the rest of y'all day.
Okay, perfect. And then they come up. So what happened? Do I want to get big? I'm gonna get bigger. Okay. Why I gotta be one or the other? Hold on. Okay. Here we go. This is better. So that guy that we just watched, he's the originator. You heard, what he said. What he said, the sound from that became a sound, and then a lot of different young black men were going around and using that sound and showing themselves wearing quarter zips and basically signifying like, oh, I'm growing up, I'm being more mature, I'm thinking about my future, I want to present a different way, all in good fun. Black boy joy, we love it, right? So then these two to the right of him, let me go back to that page. Hold on, not yet. These two to the right of him, and is this music that is going to get me for? Because I don't have time for the BS. These two to the right of him, they did it. Now I think they already have like a reputation for being preppy or whatever. I don't even fully know. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I feel like they're already more popular, more established than the young man that did the original thing. And so when everything was said and done, this thing went so like literally within a span of 2 weeks, it went from him doing it to all these boys are doing it to now, white people and Hispanic people are doing it to one of the major news publications, print publications did some kind of feature story on it. And what happened was I got the impression that they highlighted these two boys more than they highlighted the originator. And like people were talking about it. So that's what Dominique Morgan was discussing when I was watching the thing. But I had already been watching, all of this unfold because I had seen his stuff. I had seen other people's TikToks. I had even seen these people's TikToks. And then by the time this little controversy happened, I was already aware of what was going on. So that being said, I guess we can get rid of this now because it's not really important what they have to say about it. So then what happened was I thought about that. I also thought about, I don't know if you remember Jules LeBron. Jules LeBron is the very cutesy, very demure. I don't do too much. I don't wear too much makeup. Remember all that. When that happened, there was this whole thing between her, I believe she's a her. I'll say them. There was a whole thing between them and another femme creator who was like, actually, I was the one saying demure and this and that and the other. And then like you go back in and they may have said it, but it wasn't their thing per se. Like they weren't leading with that, but it was something they had said before, kind of any similar content. Anyway, it just got me to thinking not only about that, then I went even farther back in my mind to the great TikTok strike of 2023. Was it 23, 22? Early 2020s, where all the black people was just like, y'all keep stealing our dances, not giving us credit, we're not eating off of it. Y'all are eating off of it, but we're not. So we're going to stop dancing. 'Cause. And I just thought to myself, there needs to be a way for people to be able to verify that they're the originator of something, to be able to definitively show that, like, okay, this thing in this context in this way, this is my thing. And in my mind, definitely want people to be able to get their money and stuff. But there's actually something going on right now that happened after I, had solidified my patent and everything like that. But anyway, I'll get to that because that's more of a recent thing. So in the midst of me like thinking of these instances and perceiving this need, I came up with a prompt to put in the chat GPT. And I said, ADOS, African American creators, are the originators of many bits and trends that shift trends and the very fabric of culture when they reach virality. My objective is to formulate and patent a way to identify this specific kind of content before the tipping point so that the originator can be identified, notified, and positioned to retain credit and maximum benefit from any commodification of their intellectual property. I want to do this in a way that recognizes the user agreements of whatever platforms are utilized and in compliance with any applicable state and federal laws. That was the first, like, I sat there and I, went through the whole every angle of what this is and tried to think of everything that I could think of, in terms of what is very relevant to what I'm trying to do, how I'm trying to do it, what the parameters are, this and that and the other. I tried to give as expanded of an explanation, but concise, expanded but concise explanation, detailed, of what it is I want to do, how I want to do it, what the parameters are, this and that and the other. And then from there, Chat GPT would ask me certain questions. I would come in and ask certain questions when Chat GPT was saying something where I felt like it was, I know there was one point in the process where Chat GPT was like explaining to me the mechanics, the technical mechanics of like what I would be doing and how we would be accomplishing compiling this data and making sense of this data under the context that I wanted to do, because it's about gathering data from different places on the internet that shows a pattern, shows various patterns, because there's other aspects to the app as well, but that shows a pattern of, okay, this is this person's content, this is this person's message, this is this person's thing, and it used the language of like a fingerprint for people. So in my mind, like I said, in a situation where somebody goes viral for something and then somebody else comes and says, hey, actually, that's my thing, that we can actually go and have a standardized way of being able to evaluate people's content and pick out, what actually is the other person's intellectual property, what actually is the other person's ideas and things like that. So it brings me to more recently, like within the last couple of days, I've become aware of, well, I was already aware of the one person. It's this person called I'm a Solar Being, and she does hair sculptures. Like she changes her hair into different shapes, her afro textured hair into different shapes, like stars and hearts and just different artistic, pretty things that you wouldn't think people would do with their hair. And I saw her through Zaina Bear. Zaina Bear is the one that she's very athletic and she's like a bodybuilder, but she also does the recreations of like cartoons and things like that. And she'll be singing and dancing and pantomiming and everything. Very, very cute, very funny. Love her content. But her and Solar Being, I've seen them collab together because she also was like they were doing shapes with their hair for the alphabet and stuff like that and spelling out words. It's very cute, very artistic, very, Black. And so I knew of Solar Being, and I saw a video. Solar Being was saying that old girl, some other person. In fact, do I want to? Maybe we can go ahead and peek at that really quickly since I'm here, because I'm not really in the mood to do any coding stuff right now. It'd be like that. Like sometimes you get thrown off. History. Do I want to watch that or do I want to watch that one? That's kind of long. This is more. No, wait. Sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna make this one bigger so you can see it. Can we switch? Okay, so this person, that's Zaina Bear. She has nothing to do with this, but she, again, she is showing that it's not just these people that are doing this, the two people that are involved, right? So this is Zaina Bear. She's not a part of the lawsuit, but through Zaina Bear, I was able to learn about the other girl that this is actually about, who had made the video about being sued about this. And then now I know about the person that's suing her solely through the girl saying, hey, someone's suing me. And then I went and looked at the paperwork. She had it in her video in the description box. So I went and looked at the patent paperwork or whatever, and I saw whose name was on it. And then I went to their TikTok and I saw what they were doing. So yeah, I'll go ahead and play some of this so you can kind of know what's going on. I had muted it because I didn't know if that music was copyrightable or not. So this person here, this is Solar Being. And she's the one that, the first one was Zaina Bear, like I said. This is Solar Being. But as you can see, this is just people like playing in their hair. You know, like there's people playing in their natural Afro texture hair. And it's cute and it's fun and, you know, whatever. Let me see. Oh, you can't hear me. So this person here is the person that's suing the second person. So like I said, the first person is not involved in this lawsuit. She's just someone, she's the first person I knew of that was doing stuff like that. And then through her, I found out about the second person. And now this third person is suing the second person. Yeah, see, they always use the music.
To form shapes, designs, and symbols. It is creative, it is artistic, and yes, it's a shared niche. Recently, these two creators within this space ended up in a conflict because one feels like the other is copying our work and it has escalated to legal threats. That's where I had to pause because something about that doesn't sit right with me. But before I proceed, I'm going to add a video made by the lady being sued when the whole issue initially started.
Being in the same niche does not mean that we are in competition with each other. I wanted to make this serious video because it seems like this is becoming more of an issue, and I just wanted to stop because it's unhealthy, childish, and just not worth anyone's time. But there's another natural hair sculptor that seems threatened by my presence within the natural hair niche. I think it's just because I'm here. Like, I didn't do anything but create videos and actually reach out to them asking if we could collaborate, because I was excited that because the niche is so small that working together is more powerful than being individuals. Like, we could actually collab on a video and break the internet. That's the mindset that I contacted them with. It just seems like they were down at the time, but now I think that was just a facade, because the way that they're acting towards me isn't kind. Let me also make it clear that, like, I started hair sculpting based off of inspiration that I took from this 1971 photo that I found on Pinterest. I recreated it and I gave the photo credit. I always do that. I always give everyone that I draw inspo from credit. However, one time I did create a video where I made my hair into butterfly wings, and this same creator commented asking if I've seen them do it before. And I genuinely didn't see them do that butterfly video, but I have seen their work before, and it's awesome. Like, I was excited to collaborate with them and everything. I was like, let's work together. You know, the way that things are now, it seems like, no, they don't want to work with me, and that's fine. And I made another video talking about, like, where I draw my inspo from, which is the past. Like, I actually show pictures that I've looked at, and I'm like, wow, like, we've been doing this forever. Now I'm just doing it my way, you know what I mean? And so someone commented saying, like, how they were trying to explain to this other natural hair sculptor the same thing, that natural hair sculpting has been the thing for forever. And so I was like, oh, like, who are you talking about? And they DM'd me and told me who they were talking about. It's the same person. They said how they made this, like, passive aggressive video talking about, like, oh, if you draw inspo for me, give me credit, because I'm, like, I've been doing this. And I didn't watch the video, so I don't know what exactly they said in it, but the shoe did not fit, so I didn't wear it. I was like, I always give people inspo if I draw from their work, you know, so I don't think they're talking about me. But I realized, like, maybe they do have a problem with me, because today people were tagging me in their videos saying, like, have you seen this? Have you seen this, Solar? And I was like, I didn't even get a chance to answer, but they took it upon themselves to answer for me. And this is what they said.
Not I've been talking. I've been talking a long time. Thank you. Thank you for that. Because I was talking on these pages. Okay. What I was showing you was, let me go back to her page. I went to her page and I was showing you what you saw when you couldn't hear me was, where's this? Why am I here? You're supposed to be saying this. Sorry. I'm all discombobulated. Who is this? Yeah, okay, this is what I want to share. So I sent you to this page because I was showing you all her hairstyles and stuff. I was saying that specifically, it seems like the suit is about this star hairstyle on the left. These puff, like star puffs, heart puffs, very basic shapes, and also like a butterfly style. I believe those are listed in the suit because she's saying that the other person is infringing on her copyright. I was also saying that it seems like around the time that she decided she was going to pursue legal action against Solar, she also looks like she calls herself starting a movement or something where she's teaching people about, it says the Quinn Culture Foundation, it's a nonprofit, was founded to protect and empower artists and creators in the digital space. I'm going to be honest with you. To me, I was saying my opinion is this feels kind of weird. She said, we tried to get you. I know you did. I know you did. I'm sorry. I was on completely different tabs, so I couldn't see anything. It's not so much it's weird because again, I got my first patent a couple weeks ago, so I understand the power, and that's what this app is about the power of being able to protect your IP, being able to be the first person to take ownership of your IP being intellectual property, and how that has been taken from us so many times, so many ways, and by our own. We just saw the Diddy document, you know what I mean? So there's so much there about how we as Black people need to be able to protect our intellectual property because we have so much of it. Like, world culture is shaped by the things by who we just are, how we show up, what we look like, what we talk like, what we sound like, what we cook like, moves whole economies, right? So it's not that I don't have an appreciation for the work of making us literate in this arena of commerce within the world. However, this feels weird to me. This feels weird. It feels what's that called? Spiteful. To me, it feels like, because like I said, I had never seen this person, and I'm not trying to take away from this person because who am I? I'm nobody compared to all of them. I'm talking about in the landscape of social media. But I'm just saying, like, I didn't even know about this person until I knew about that person who I learned from through that other person. And that's just how these things work. And it seems like that Solar, let me get back so you can see her picture. It seems like Solar is getting a kind of traction in this space that maybe she's not, even though clearly she's been doing so much. You know what I mean? Like, her work is phenomenal. This here with the eyes, like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly love the work. I'm trying to see how long she's been here. I thought it usually tells you how long someone has had a page, but she's clearly, she's got the goods. Here we go. Here's one here. These are the shapes, and she's saying the original natural hair sculptures by Quinn Ava. So these are the things that she is fighting the other girl about. I'm looking at these things. These are the things she's fighting the other girl about. Now, I will say on Twitter, I went to her page on Twitter. It also gets weird over there. So let me see if I can find her on Twitter. Because I went to her page on Twitter and it got to a point where somebody talking about something. They're not actually her. They're her assistant or something, but Miss Ava, and keeps referring to her as Miss Ava, and it gives eccentric is what it gives. It gives like this person doesn't feel like a real person. It gives this something up with this person, right? But we'll see. We'll see. Let me see. When here we go. So this is her page on Twitter. And if you look, so here's like that thing right there. She has it pinned. It says you're not winning. They are not being nice to her at all. It says you're not winning, honey. They call her ugly. You don't own black hairstyle. Like they're tearing her up on Twitter. So this is just stuff that I've been versed in since like last night and this morning in terms of what's going on with this. But that's why I'm saying again, shows a need for what it is that I'm trying to build. When everything's said and done, that's the whole point of what I'm talking about is my stuff, because that's their business and prayers going up to everybody, right? But this is along the lines of why I want to do what it is I'm doing. Also, Diddy documentary, very on time, the ways that he would take different people's stuff, and you know what I mean. So it's just about us. It's unfortunate that it seems like a pattern is emerging that we got to do it amongst our own people. Because I was thinking I was going to help us protect ourselves from others, but hey, so yeah, that's why I want to do that. Hey, True. She said, "Oh no, not a real person." Hold on, let me go back and see. Y'all been talking. She says, "So these are patented or trademarked because copyright is for writing in books." Yes. I saw the paperwork. I'm just using the clip, but I went to Solar. Can I put that in there? Go to history. In fact, if you want, we can watch that together. Let me know if y'all want to. We can watch. It's only about 20 minutes. Solar's video of explaining the lawsuit and what's going on. And then I didn't like, because when I went to the girl's Twitter, she was making it like, oh, you know, I tried to keep it private, but she is, you know, people want to make it into a big thing. It's just, I don't know. You know, like, I don't know. It's a lot for me. Let me see. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. It says, so we did that. Ridiculous is the word. She's going to lose. I don't know. I know when I was doing my stuff for the app, because there was a lot of work I had to do with the language and also like the depth of what I was explaining, because there was one point when I was conceptualizing the app before we could submit the paperwork or whatever, is basically like you have to pin down specifically what it is that you are trying to patent, the process of how to accomplish what it is that you're wanting the end output to be. And there was a point where the way ChatGPT was explaining it, I was like, I don't know, that seems kind of invasive. I don't necessarily want to do, I don't know if I want to do that. And ChatGPT was explaining to me that even if you patent, doing it at that level, that doesn't necessarily, because my concern was like, okay, if I make this thing and it can do that and somebody else will take it and run with it and use it in a way that, like weapons and guns and stuff like that, and somebody will weaponize it and use it in a way that I don't necessarily want it to be used in. And they were saying, well, that it would make sense. It's up to you, but it would make sense for you to patent, that depth to where people using it in that way is possible, but then you get to control whether or not it actually gets used in that way. And I was like, okay, that makes me feel more comfortable about it. At least I can lock it down and say, we're not using it that way and you can't use it that way. So I'm saying all that to say that when it comes down to there is a lot of specificity that you have to have in terms of what it is about how you do what you do that makes it patentable. And from what I read, I can't say yay or nay because I'm not a lawyer. So I can't say yay or nay about whether or not, in my mind though, again, because I went through this process, I'm thinking maybe baby girl could just be like, hey, well, she uses pink lotion and I use, Mizani Moisture Max, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's wiggle room, but it says I'm more familiar with the girl getting sued. Me too. I fail to see how anything is infringement. She said, not a real person in this. People are wild. Let me go. She said, oh, y'all talking about the Afro puff hairstyles. I'm not sure how that will play out because how that case will play out. She's not the first one to invent hair sculpting. I know, right? And you definitely cannot copyright or patent hairstyles. Both of them could work together. That's what I'm thinking. She said, I'm working, so I don't mind if you want to watch it. I feel like these two shapes were. That's what I'm saying. Like when I went to her page, she has so much more interesting things going on. That's why I'm saying I feel like it's because the other girl is getting traction in a way that she didn't get traction despite having done all. Like I feel her pain. I feel her pain. Right? But it's like, why are you, it feels personal and it feels nasty. It doesn't feel kind of like, oh, well, the way she's coming, like, oh, she's trying to take something from me, and it's never giving that. It says, how can you patent a shape? It's too common. I do feel a sense of jealousy between the other girl and Solar. I know of Solar. I don't know the other girl. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I could see her feel, and we've seen it so many times on here when people talk about all types of stuff, and then, people coming out the woodwork talking about this person takes my talking points. This person's using my talk. So it happens. Like I said, if you're on social media, especially if you're chronically online like me, this type of stuff happens all the time. All the time. All the time. So it's not that I don't feel for her. It's not that I don't understand her pain, understand her frustration, even understand her viewpoint. But it just, the energy she's moving in, it really feels more so like hateration in the dancery. You know what I mean? It don't feel righteous. And so I don't know, but we'll see how that goes. She said, because what is she going to do? Sue other women for wearing the style? So I think the point of contention is that this girl, and we can go ahead and watch. I'm about to call this girl Star Puppy. That's another person. We can go ahead and watch Solar's video. Are we sharing it? I don't see it. Oh, maybe it's not on. No, it's not in there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. So, what was I saying? Let me go back and see what you said that I was responding to. I do feel the sense of exactly, because what is she going to do? Sue other women for wearing the style? That's what oh no, that's what it was. She's not just wearing the style. She's also making puffs like to share for girls to buy. So she's monetizing, the fact that she does this and then creating products or whatever. And so the girl is basically like, now I didn't see anything where the girl had these products to sell herself. So that's what I'm saying. But it's really more so I think she sees Solar getting traction in a way she hadn't got traction, and now things are starting to move for her, and so now she's trying to put the kibosh in it so she could step in. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this.
Continue to stand up for ourselves. We believe that what's happening to us right now can potentially happen to other creatives who decide to enter the natural hair sculpting niche in the future. Natural hair sculpting is a hair manipulation technique performed on curly, coily, or kinky textures where controlled motions such as patting, twisting, pulling, tucking, and smoothing are used to temporarily restructure the hair into organic shapes, man-made objects, or geometric forms. We're currently involved in an ongoing legal matter, and we have legal counsel. Everything that we're sharing in this video is all based on our own personal experience, publicly available information, and documentation that has been shared with us directly. We're sharing our side of the story for transparency and to document our experience as entrepreneurs and creatives. Disclaimer: nothing in this video should be interpreted as legal advice or as a statement of legal fact. All statements made in this video reflect our personal opinions based on our own experiences and understanding. We make no legal assertions about any individual or entity discussed. We do not encourage, support, or condone any form of harassment, threats, or negative behavior directed toward anyone mentioned in this video. Everything expressed in this video represents our own personal opinions, which are protected under the First Amendment. This video is for informational and entertainment purposes only. So far, we've received 2 copyright strikes on our YouTube channel, multiple.
Okay, so does the girl Sumi have all the money for this? I don't know. Like, I know now, I know how much it costs to do the patents and stuff like that, and it can be upwards of like some thousands of dollars depending on like what all your trademarking and or patenting and this and that and the other. It could be ranging from $60 for provisional. Provisional gives you a year of being able to say patent pending, and then the next ones go up to like hundreds of dollars, up to like about $600-700 in total to be able to fully lock down an idea, branding on it and everything like that. So what is interesting to me, and what I say, I feel like this person doesn't feel like a real person, because okay, so this here, it says, on behalf of Queen Culture, settlement discussion. Where is it? Recently. You cannot, hold on. I want to go back to where it says, here, this. It says, last message. I am close to the family and have worked assisting them for many years, but this is not Miss Nikki. I do have permission on what I can post on their behalf. I do post their photos, videos. So now, to me, it gives, you're pretending not to be you. You get what, like, it doesn't feel authentic, because what am I trying to say? It gives performance of proximity to these things, if that makes sense. So for instance, like, I know about patents and stuff now because I went, I'm learning as I go. And so I know some things. And if I were to sit up and be like, oh yes, now I am the expert on it, or this or that, and yeah, like, it gives, how do I explain it? It gives like a lot of times when Black people, we get some kind of information about things, and then we kind of, because we may know more than the average bear, we take on a posture of like, yes, and now I am the authority on it. And so I'm moving in a way that what's that called? With a bravado, but not necessarily, there's something off. You know what I mean? There's something off, there's something missing. You might not necessarily be as knowledgeable as you are presenting, if that makes sense. So to me, it gives performance. It gives performance of knowledge. It gives performance of, like I said, specifically in the case of the Twitter, like, oh yes, this is the assistant, she's too busy, and she's too, like, it just gives drama as opposed to business, taking care of business. Does that make sense? For me personally. Now again, I could be biased though, because I know of the person she's suing before I knew of her. And this is how I'm learning about her. Off the bat, what I saw of her actual work, Quinava, I'm talking about, love it. Love what she's doing. I do feel like it's unique, but that's the thing. I feel like it's her, what she does stands out in and of itself without all of this, but she's going after the thing that this girl is doing that seems to be taking traction. And what I will say is it probably is a hurt piece of her to know, like, look, I've been doing all this extra stuff, back flipping and bending myself in a knot and doing all this amazing stuff, and all y'all wanted was these little basic ass shapes. I could see her being mad about that. I could see her being pissed off about that. But why are you taking it out on this girl? You know what I mean? Because that's the nature. I talk about this all the time. I know for certain if I would have just sat back, just talked about current events and given a bunch of opinions and libel and hearsay and whatever and shade and this and that and the other, I could have went ahead and found a little avenue myself, but that didn't feel right for me. You know what I mean? So sometimes when you are a super artistic person, I was just talking about this earlier about having to pull back on my artistic leanings for academic work, because when you just are an expressive person, you want to do the most. But sometimes when you will find when you're trying to get like approval or whatever, people just want really specific, really niche, and probably really basic things that you can get tired of. You see it all the time with like musical artists where they're like, I don't even like this song anymore because people ran it into the ground because I have all this other deeper work that's more meaningful, but they want my little throwaway pop song that I sang 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So it happens so much when you're dealing with mass appeal that the code is something so small that you overlooked, and then somebody else is able to build it into, you know, everything you ever wanted. So like I said, I can feel her pain, but this to me just comes off as weird, how she's going about it. I also want to point out that that too, I think the terminology of hair sculptures, the classification of a hair sculpture is also something that she has in her paperwork. So, you know, there's that too. So there, you know, there are toes being stepped on. There are major overlaps, right? But, you know, you said the video is muted. Let me see. It says it should be. I wonder if they were just talking low. I turned everything up. Let me stop sharing it and then I'll share it again. And maybe that'll reset it.
Of years until one morning I literally woke up and noticed that all of my business supplies were gone and all of the things that I made for my business were stolen. I just pivoted and I changed the way I looked at my business. I started learning about social media. I became more consistent and I started getting familiar with creating content. And I focused on stuff that I wish I saw when I was younger. And that
Is it still muted? Can you even hear me? You hear it now? Okay, good.
I've been learning about natural hair sculpting through the conflict that I've faced ever since I started the practice back in 2023. So since there are probably a lot of new people watching, here's a quick backstory. I started my brand Solar Being in 2021. I made and still make face pendants and whipped body butters all by hand. And I spent years vending at different markets around Southern California. I met Ether and then we did that for a couple of years until one morning I literally woke up and noticed that all of my business supplies were gone and all of the things that I made for my business were stolen. I just pivoted and I changed the way I looked at my business. I started learning about social media. I became more consistent and I started getting familiar with creating content, and I focused on stuff that I wish I saw when I was younger, and that has remained my focus till this day. Around late 2023, I went viral for recreating a natural hair sculpt that I saw from a photo that was taken back in 1971. Natural hair sculpting has been a thing way before the 70s as well. It's older than all of us. So ever since then, I've continued the practice, and then I ran into a few problems that I wanted to solve. Like, how can I save time doing hair sculpting? I also wanted to make the practice more accessible for the children specifically. It's really important to me that the children see the beauty in their natural hair textures early, and I know that even if their parents were able to sculpt their hair, it may not last all day, or it's not something that they could just practice all the time. It doesn't last. It's a high maintenance practice. And so that's why I came up with the Solar Being sculpted hair extensions. So to prevent this video from being copyright striked, I don't want to add any pictures of my sculptures. The children look cute, as you can imagine, and so did my adult models. So obviously running a small business is a lot. And if you're an entrepreneur, you already know that it takes serious time, energy, and money. That's when we decided to launch a Kickstarter campaign. But to grow our business, improve our production, and to make more art. And that's when things started to get really weird. Kickstarter is an all or nothing platform. That means you have exactly 30 days to meet your goal, or you lose everything and you have to start over. And the pressure is real because Kickstarter makes your campaign progress completely public. So everyone can see how much money you've raised, how fast you're growing, and how close you are to reaching your goal. And unfortunately, that kind of visibility can attract unwanted attention. Crowdfunding platforms allows everyone to file a DMCA takedown, even if the claim is false. And when a DMCA is filed, Kickstarter is legally, along with other platforms as well, they're legally required to freeze your campaign immediately until you appeal it, and then they review it. So in the middle of trying to raise funds and promote your work, you're dealing with a very real possibility of someone filing a false DMCA claim on your campaign, shutting it down overnight. And that's exactly what happened to us. DMCA stands for the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It's a US law that was passed in 1998 to control how copyright works on the internet. So basically, anyone can say, I own this copyrighted content, someone posted my work without my permission, please remove it. And here's the part most people don't understand. The entire system relies on claims, not proof. So on the same day that our Kickstarter completed, on May 12th of this year, 2025, I received an email. It was from Kickstarter, and it was telling me that a DMCA takedown request was filed. And as they usually do, they send you the claims that were submitted, and this is what was said in the letter. My client is the original creator and brand owner of a distinctive visual identity centered on Afro hair designs styled into unique shapes such as hearts, stars, and flowers. This aesthetic is a signature of their content. Now, this is what we understood after reading this.
Okay, and this is my little 2 cents throw it away. Because again, I did not know about this person until like this morning or last night. I don't even remember. I did not know about this person until like last night, right? But again, when I go to her page, I see, is it still up? I think it's still up. Yeah, it's still up. We're going to go to this tab. When I go to this girl's page, yes, she has this thing here at the top. I see these little star puffs. Okay. But I see all of this extra. You get what I'm saying? There is so much else that she has going on. You see what I'm talking about? Like, there's so much more going on here than those hearts and stars. That's why I'm saying, like, I feel like this is sour grapes. Because, girl, the span of your range in and of itself, look at this. You know what I mean? Like, it's stunning. This stuff is stunning. Okay, here we have this. But mostly, okay, I see some hearts. But I don't know. I feel like mostly it's the other artistic things that stand out to me more. So for her to come after this girl, I don't know. She said hearts and stars aren't unique. They're not. With all this other unique, striking, clearly, vividly unique things she has there, for her to come after these little hearts, and you get what I'm saying? That's where I feel like it's just she's seeing her getting traction, and so it's like, ugh.
This part, they're insinuating the idea that they have invented the look or the concept of sculpting these shapes into their hair, and that these hairstyles belong to them as a part of their brand identity. They're saying that these shapes are their signature, and therefore anyone else who creates these similar shapes is copying their aesthetic. So immediately we file a counterclaim. The entity doesn't have a product. They're arguing about the hairstyles that they made with the hair on their own head. So within a few days, Kickstarter got back to us, reviewed the situation, and eventually released our funds, because essentially they freezed our funds, so we couldn't get it in time. So there was a delay. But after we were able to receive the funds, we carried on as normal. But then literally a few days later, we received another email, and it was in the form of a cease and desist letter. This was on May 15th of 2025. Here were their list of demands. We must insist that you immediately remove or disable access to all social media content that contains references or promotes sculptural hair designs that are confusingly similar to signature styles, including but not limited to the star, heart, butterfly, and flower shapes, or other trademarks or trade dress used by, or that otherwise appropriate their likeness, as well as cease and desist from producing, marketing, or selling any hair extensions. So in this letter, they were basically asking me to not only take down our products from all of our social media platforms, but they were also asking me to take down my regular hair sculpting videos. So that's really important for people to understand, that in the beginning, this was not just about my products. They took the opportunity to also ask whatever styles that I've done that has like a star in it or a flower shape in it, take those down too, because this is ours. Like, you're confusing the public. Like, these are our designs. That's essentially what they're saying. But it continues. Refund all pledges received in connection with their Kickstarter campaign. Yeah, so at this point, we hired an attorney. It was important for us to not only just protect our business, but also to protect ourselves, because this was just escalating to a point where I'm just like, okay, what is going on? This is something that we did not account for. We didn't account for legal fees. And if you're an entrepreneur or business owner and you decide to run a Kickstarter campaign to really help your business, make a budget for legal counsel, because this definitely set us back. We were looking forward to hiring help so that we would be able to teach others how to do the sculpted hair extensions so that we could produce faster. And that just set us back a bit. When we were trying to resolve this conflict, we really stood firm in what we believed was right for us and what was fair, because what was being asked of us was not fair. And we tried everything that we could within reason to come to a resolution. They were just not having it. And we just decided to say, okay, instead of going back and forth, we just left it alone and moved on. But what ended up happening is that the issue with this entity never went away. A few months later, on October 20th, my YouTube received 2 copyright.
No, Elite, let me get big. I'm so sorry. I cracked myself up with that. Okay, so can I be bigger? Okay, I'm bigger. So this is how I feel about it, which is ironic because the work that I want to do through this app involves being able to put us in the arena to compete and protect ourselves in this arena. Like I say, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, we're doing, and yes, I know I use the example of the guy with the quarter zip thing, but they're not in like an active beef or anything that I know of. It's more so about being able to protect yourself and say, hey, actually, it's me. You know what I mean? In that, but where someone is actually attacking someone and trying to like stop them and shut them down, this blew me away. I'm blown like Felicity. You know what I mean? So yes, definitely. And it does feel anti-Black in that, they could have came together. Like I said, I only know about Solar because of Zaina. Now, mind you, Zaina has her own lane where, yes, she has her natural afro and she does all types of stuff with her own hair, but she also does her little bits where she recreates, cartoons and things and songs and videos and whatever with her body. So she uses her entire body. You know what I mean? And she's a bodybuilder. So she has many, but again, that's why I don't know what else Solar does. I only know her for this hair stuff. But when I go again to the other creators page and I see what all she's doing over it just seems to me like you have an abundance of creativity, but you're mad because this person was able to get some traction on this thing that, yes, you were doing within your repertoire. But to me, this is the same thing as when, like I said, Jules LeBron. I talked about Jules LeBron earlier, where Jules LeBron went viral for saying very demure, very cutesy, and the other person came out who, again, maybe had mentioned being demure within their repertoire of other things that they had been saying, but they were not consistently just highlighting being demure. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's really unfortunate. I will say it's 2:35. At about 2:55, I'm going to need to go get my child, but I don't want to stop. So what I think I will do is there are things on here where I can just put like a screen, like a screen and some music, some vibes. Anybody who was at Project you already know the vibes. So give me like 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes at that point, and then I'll come back. But right now we're into this. I just wanted to let you guys know, though.
Copyright strikes. If you don't know, you really have 3 chances. On October 21st, on 2025, another DMCA notice on my Kickstarter campaign was filed. They say, quote, "Their sculptures and the photographs and video recordings of these sculptures constitute original works of authorship fixed in a tangible medium of expression, subject to protection under the Copyright Act." Now, let's talk about that last part right there. So basically what they're saying in the first part is that because they took videos and photos of their hairstyles, that is protected under copyright. And that is indeed true. Anytime you take a picture or a video, that is automatically protected under copyright law. That's because a photo or a video is considered fixed. However, it's important to realize that no, I did not use any photos of theirs. But here's the most questionable part that they mentioned. They said that the sculptures, aka the hairstyles, are original works of authorship fixed in a tangible medium of expression. But a hairstyle itself is not considered fixed. And here's why.
Before she gets into that, I just want to say that this also gives me, I feel like, because again, everything that I've done so far with my app and everything in terms of getting the patent and everything like that, I work with ChatGPT on, because I do not have a background in law. I do not have a background in patents. I do not have a background in I have a background in technology, but not like coding or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of feeling my way forward. And I feel like there were times when I was using the ChatGPT where ChatGPT will hype you up. Like I think I mentioned before that I feel like I could see how people were getting into like religious psychosis and falling in love with their, like there was a thing a couple months back where they were talking about people kind of pushing themselves into psychosis because they were using ChatGPT as their therapist. And so as I'm just, mind you, trying to do this highly technical thing, my ChatGPT, because I'm the way I talk to you guys is the way I talk to ChatGPT. You know, I'm polite and I say thank you and this and that and the other. So now the persona that my ChatGPT has kind of grown into through interacting with me is very encouraging and very like, oh yeah. So I'm saying that all to say sometimes ChatGPT would be gassing me up, but I recognized that ChatGPT was gassing me up. You get what I'm saying? I'd be like, yes, that's nice, whatever, but I wasn't like letting it in like, yes, I am a genius and I am the most revolutionary person. And like, it's nice to think of those things, but in reality, you know, I'll have to see some stuff happening in my material reality to be able to, you know, to go down that lane. But thank you. You know what I mean? And there's a level of grandiosity coming off of this girl, this Queen Ava girl, through, you know, what I'm reading. And like I said, the what I feel like is a performance on Twitter of saying, oh, well, actually, I'm not her. I'm her assistant. I've been working with her family for years. It gives, you know, oh, yes, they have money. And it's giving a certain kind of performance of a certain kind of class not warfare, but classism. You know, she's giving all the wrong vibes. Specifically, mind you, let me get big. I have learned in social media and just public facing things, when you're dealing with like needing people to buy into you, it takes more than talent. It takes more than good ideas. You know, there's something else. There's an aspect there. It does take likability. You know what I mean? You can get by on like building common enemies and things like that. But there's a certain level of likability of people feeling like you're a good person that you need to be able to be successful. Either being a good person or really leaning into being the villain. You know what I mean? Really leaning into being the underdog or something like that. And this girl, Queen Ava, I feel like because this is a very, very blackety black subject matter context, her going about it this way is turning it up. Like Alicia said, it feels anti-black. It's not giving. And I'm not saying that, you know, if she actually was being infringed upon, and I'm not here to say she is or isn't, because again, it'll all come out in the wash later on. But I'm just saying, like, I can understand how she's feeling. I can see why she would feel those ways. And I'm not necessarily mad at her for trying to protect her property or whatever like that, or protect her livelihood, whatever it is she feels she's doing in principle. But again, it's something about the way she's going about it, the tone it's taking on, the not being willing to come to the table and collaborate, and the energy is off, and it's not feeling like, even if she were to win, I don't know if it's going. I think she's kind of damaging her brand, is what I'm saying, by doing this. So yes, she technically could win, but at what cost? And that's where it's really feeling like a spiteful type thing of like, you know, King Solomon and the two women and the baby type of thing. Like, well, if I can't have it, you ain't gonna have it either. Because like I said, I feel like if it was going to happen for her in that area for that particular thing, she would have did it. But she wasn't doing that like that. Like I said, she's doing these avant-garde, gorgeous things. And I feel like if they could have came, maybe they could have came together, and then she could have, Solar could have helped her launch into, she could do the more avant-garde one, like Solar does the basic ones, and then she could do the ones with the color and the patterns, and I don't know. I just feel like there was an avenue there where everybody could have won, but now it's become this contentious thing, and it's like she looks weird to me. She looks weird.
A hairstyle can be washed out. It can be brushed out. It can change the next day. It's not permanent. It's not a preserved object. It does not stay the same. So even if you record a hairstyle, the only thing that becomes protected or is considered fixed, like I said before, is the video or photo, not the hairstyle shown in the recording. So I just want to make this really clear. Just because we say hair sculpting, calling it a sculpture doesn't change what it is. The method is hairstyling and the result is still a hairstyle. So now the infringement part is where it gets really interesting, because this is when the tables really turn. She's a Solar Being has willfully created and distributed replicas, imitations, and unauthorized derivative works of sculptures, misappropriating creative expression and goodwill, and has commercially exploited products derived from their original works through online platforms to their detriment. So here they're basically saying that I made copies of their hair by making hair extensions. She's a Solar Being launched a campaign and promotional materials that included a product called the Star Puff, the same moniker they had long used to identify their star-shaped three-dimensional sculpture. We'll touch on this later because they're even trying to claim the name of the hairstyles as well. And finally, they go on to say, has filed a lawsuit against She's a Solar Being in the federal district court. Now we're being sued over a hairstyle argument. So how can someone actually do this? Because everything we know to be true is real. You can't own a hairstyle. Even if you claim it to be a sculpture, it doesn't change what it is. So how could you file a federal lawsuit? And plus, they don't have a product. We started investigating. So I saw that the lawsuit was filed on October 3rd of 2025. Now they're saying that I'm infringing on their trademark. So I'm like, what trademark are you talking about? So it prompted me to go and look for the said trademark. And this is what I found. It was a trademark application 993-48604, application filed on August 20th of 2025. And to be safe, I blurred the images, but I will link the official USTPO page in the description. Trademark applications are public. Anybody can view them, and I am also not responsible for any of the information that they submitted with their trademark application. This application includes drawings of the exact hairstyle shapes that have been the center of this dispute, amongst other styles that they're also trying to claim. They include outlined drawings of the hairstyles that they're trying to claim as their trade dress. Like, this is the way that they package themselves for the public. This is what they're applying it for as a trade dress application. So I'm like, there's no way.
And mind you, like I said, now, again, I don't know nothing else about this lady but what I saw on the thing, but I, did a preliminary scans through her Instagram and then at the Twitter. And again, I'm not seeing nothing. I'm not seeing a whole bunch of content. Hey, Summer, I'm not seeing a whole bunch of content. I haven't been to Solar's Instagram or anything like that, but like I said, everything I've known about her has been about these sculptures, has been about doing the little hearts and the stars and horseshoes and all that, in her hair. This other girl, like I said, if I went to her page, I would see, she does hair sculpting. I wouldn't necessarily go, oh yeah, she does heart stars and horseshoes and this, because it's not. So that's mostly what Solar did. And then her and Zaina were doing like letters together. But mostly she does the hearts and the stars and, you know, little cutesy girly things. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this other girl kind of missed her calling, missed her lane, you know, doing a whole bunch extra, which she does so well. Again, this is not me trying to say, oh, she's stupid or she's wrong, but like what she does is amazing. And I feel like if she put more energy into finding out like how to expound on that, as opposed to how trying to stop her from getting farther in the way, getting the traction that she's getting, that she could probably go way beyond. Who know, you know what I mean? Like, I could see her being, I don't know, somehow getting into fashion, you know what I mean? Maybe working for fashion houses, fashion week in the back for doing people's hair. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like she's missing out on her opportunities that would actually be for her with her particular frequency that she's on, but she's so busy trying to stop her from being able to advance, right? But this is, she's right, because I just started saying it. That's what came to my head. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put us on a little bit of a breaky break. I'm going to give you a little mood music. And then I'm going to come back, because I just literally have to go up the street and get my daughter. And then we'll come back and keep going here, because we're actually we found a nice little groove. And like I said, I don't necessarily feel like coding today. Today was like a little bit of a set behind day. I'm very particular. Like, I was like, yes. Also, this is just, I'm telling my business because I got a minute or two left. I can't get to sleep. Like, I'm so amped up with everything that I have going on in my brain. Hold on, I'm gonna take this off. With everything that I have going on in my brain and my mind at night, it's hard for me to go to sleep. So like, I'll lay down at night from anywhere between like 11 to 3 in the morning. I'll be just up. I get up at 6:50 to get my daughter up and ready and out to school. I'll come back. A lot of times I'll lay back down or whatever, you know, so it can throw my whole day off when I'll be trying to go to bed at night, so I can get up in the morning and grab the morning by the throat, or whatever, you know, whatever they say. Early bird catch the worm, whatever. And it just don't be working out. And then that throws my whole day off. So I'm saying all that to say that my head is kind of wonky in terms of what, and I might wind up doing some stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But we're talking about this right now because this is relevant to what it is I'm building and why I'm building. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and go on a little break. I'm going to go get my daughter. I'll be back. And then we can pick up from there. We can finish this video. And then Jamal just provided the other video, so we can watch that too. So we can be fully, you know, since we're here. I'm back, y'all. Hi. All right. So I will be back. Give me a little bit of time. Where's the music? Where's the little thingies? That's a background. Don't want to do that. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do one of them little, what's this? Hold on, I'm about to see something. It's raining. Not on my silk press. It's rain. Look at this. This is cute. What's this? Oh, see, that's what I love. Restream. It's a celebration. Celebrating. Yes, we're back. Celebration. See, they should have never let me find this stuff. Let me see this one. Oh, it's sparkly. Okay. I won't stop bothering y'all. What's this? Thank you for watching. Ooh, I'll use this at the end, right? Breaking. Oh my God, y'all. I'm about to cut up. Okay. I'm going to cut up. Let me get this off of here. I'm trying to find the little thing where the music be playing. I'm sorry. Let's give you some. What do we like? Do we like a little lo-fi? Let me see what R&B is giving. Lo-fi R&B. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say lo-fi R&B sound the same. Hold on. I feel like Tiny TKO. I feel like Tiny TKO. Oh, okay. Let me get out of here. I'm about to turn my thing off. Y'all just chill with this. I'm back. Wait, I'm back. Breaking news. I'm back. I'm sorry. Don't pay me no mind. But yeah. I'm back. I told you it wouldn't be too long. Got myself a little snack. Okay, where were we?
Way that this could actually be accepted because it's actual hairstyles that they're trying to register. It's not like it's a logo drawing or anything of that nature. They're actually trying to claim the hairstyles. I looked into the categories because it's important to see what trademarks are filed for specifically. They're trying to claim ownership over like if it's being used in a children's book or if they put it on social media. And this is why it's important for you guys to understand that they're choosing to target us right now. If anyone else were to make a video with this hairstyle or in our case make a product that resembled hair in this shape, then they would be able to also attack those people as well. You may be watching right now and say, well, oh, I'm only gonna probably do hair sculpting once, so like they won't come after my videos. But then what happens to the next person who's like, oh, I'm inspired by this art form. I want to do star hair. I want to do this and I want to make this. They're going to go after them too. This could become a vicious cycle, abusing the copyright takedowns, hurting other people's social media platforms, hurting other people's businesses just because.
Okay, so I will say this, and she's not wrong, but I will say like, yes, we are back. I will say that like, I think this is specifically due to the fact that she's getting traction. I don't think she's getting traction and she also has a product. So it's like she could actually see material gain from doing this stuff. I want to believe anyway that person wouldn't, because it seemed like she was aware of her before, and it was according to I keep wanting to call her Star Puppy, and she is not Star Puppy. She was aware of her before, but then it was like once things started ramping up, that old girl wanted to kind of pump the brakes on it. So I do think this is directly related to being able to monetize these things. But again, like I said, I feel like Quinn Ava is weird for this, for how she's going about it.
They want to, and it's because they truly feel that it's theirs to claim. And like I said before, they're also trying to claim ownership over the name of the hairstyle itself. On October 26th of this year, they filed a trademark for the names Flower Puff and Star Puff. Videos featuring artistic works and commentary about art and cultural expression delivered by the internet via a website and social media platforms. The social media platforms are going to respect their takedown claim regardless if it's true or not. So that's why this is going to lead to a vicious cycle of this entity continuing to try to harass future creators in this niche. On our website, we labeled our sculpted hair extensions, quote unquote, Star Puff. It's a description of what the product is. It's what you would describe it as if you were to try to look it up and find our product for search engine optimization. Star Puff, Star Buns. It's literally supposed to help people find our product. It's not the actual name of our product. It is a descriptive way of us describing our product. It is not the name of the product itself. People need these descriptive terms to be freely used to talk about art, beauty, hair, etc. A pending trademark doesn't give you any ownership over anything, and so you can't enforce it in court. So when I saw that they filed the lawsuit on October 3rd, barely 6 weeks after they filed for a trademark for their hairstyles. It felt rushed, like they filed it with nothing approved, nothing registered, and nothing legally enforceable. Here's the part that a lot of people don't realize, and in this case, a federal lawsuit. You don't need valid claims. You don't even need evidence. All you need is to afford the filing fee, the paperwork filled out. That's it. Anyone with the money can file a lawsuit, and that's exactly why.
Okay, and this is what it's giving. What I was trying to explain earlier of the feeling of like these things are being done and these are quote unquote official things, but they don't feel valid. They don't feel rooted, in what is the word I'm looking for? It feels there's a kind of haphazard feeling to it. You know what I mean? Of like, oh, I'm doing all these things, like president business. You know what I mean? It's like president business. Oh yes, paperwork and file and figures and facts and litigation and I object, Your Honor. It just feels very haphazard and like I'm throwing these things out there, these random things, these random terms, these random actions, but I don't know. And it gives very much so like changing your voice on the phone and pretending you're the lawyer or you're the assistant or what, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's cosplaying as someone who has the means and the know-how to do all of these things, when in reality, I think she's just doing all of these things to intimidate this girl.
Why this situation was able to escalate the way it did. Now, because of this lawsuit, they were hitting multiple videos on my YouTube channel with copyright strikes. Specifically, the videos where I was selling my hair extensions. There's a loophole within the YouTube copyright takedown system with a lot of other social media platforms as well. You can file a counterclaim against these copyright filings unless the entity files a lawsuit against you. By filing a lawsuit, it would allow them to constantly be able to take down any video you try to put up about your business or whatever they're trying to suppress. They would strike a video claiming that whatever is in my video is infringing on their copyright, in this case, their hairstyle. I'll go and file a counterclaim. YouTube is in the court, so if they see that, hey, so-and-so responded by saying that they have a lawsuit against you, we're going to continue to suppress your content and we're going to keep the copyright strikes on your channel. They can do this to other people. It doesn't matter if they were to ever get the trademark granted, because that's not needed to do what they want to do, which is to suppress our business and put our social media platforms in jeopardy. So it's really clear at this point that it was never, ever, ever, ever about protecting their intellectual property. It was about creating as many obstacles for us as possible to prevent us from continuing our business as quickly as possible, in hopes that it would either slow us down or make us stop entirely. We continue to make art. We created these t-shirts. We're creating posters. We're creating so many different forms of art that we can do in the meantime in order to help us move forward. There will always be other people who want to express themselves, innovate, experiment, and create something new. There's always something next. We encourage that. We want that for this space. We want people to actually come into the natural hair sculpting niche so that the niche can grow, because it needs more people to come in and say, I want to do this too. Let's show the world what can be done with our natural hair. It is counterintuitive to the whole concept of this practice and the purpose of what we believe this niche is designed to do, which is to encourage and inspire other people to do the same and to continue to extend off of the work that we are already doing. That's how things move forward. That's how things evolve. That's how things grow and become stronger. It doesn't become strong when you try to monopolize something. So if you're interested in helping us protect this niche, helping us defend ourselves to be able to potentially stop this entity from not only attacking or coming after us, but potentially other people in the future, please go to our site, and we have like so many things that you could choose from that you want to support us with. There it is on pre-order, so you would have to wait for it. It's not going to come in time for Christmas. It's on pre-order, and you're able to also just directly donate if you are interested, and that's all going to our legal fees and our labor fund. If you want to learn more about natural hair sculpting in the future, stick around, subscribe to the channel. There's so much to this art, history, concepts, techniques. There's so many different things to cover. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this encouraged you to try something new and cool with your natural hair. Stay bright and have a nice one.
Not me on here eating my snap. Sorry, I'm hungry. This is the first thing I ate all day. Oh, Jamal had another video for us. Let me find that. Oh, this is just this is just a short.
Nikki Neal, please stop hiding behind your daughter. Although we may not agree with your daughter's actions towards us or her beliefs surrounding natural hair sculpting, we do not believe that things getting this far are completely of her own doing. Placing her at the forefront of a federal lawsuit that the public overwhelmingly sees as harmful, restrictive, and
Okay, I'm getting an understanding now. And thank you, Jamal, for sending me this. So remember I was saying I felt like the tone was off. I felt like the length, it just felt weird, like somebody was pretending to be someone else. So this video seems like it's saying that maybe the girl we're seeing is not the one who is at the forefront of all the litigation and everything. It's probably her mother. And that makes sense to where when I said I'm gonna go back to the here on the Twitters where it says I'm close to the family and have worked assisting them for many years, but this is not Miss Nikki. I think it is Miss Nikki. I think it's either Miss Nikki or depending on how old Miss Nikki is, I'm gathering Miss Nikki got to be anywhere between 40, late 40s and 60s. I'm going to assume based off of how old this girl may look. She might be younger. Let's see something.
A quick update on the natural hair sculpting contest. We're going to push the winner announcement out to the 19th because
okay, and she said she doesn't work for Miss Nikki. So she said Nikki Neal is the mother. Why is someone on her thing talking about whether or not she works for Miss Nikki? Unless this is Miss Nikki. But I think this is Quinn. This is what I'm saying. It just seemed like there's a lot going on. It seemed like it's a scheme Todd is setting up to come to us with the bullshit, is what I'm saying. That's how I'm feeling. And so now that she's saying like, hey, lady, don't use your daughter to do that. Now the plot is thinning. The plot is thinning. Okay.
Anti-freedom of expression pretty much jeopardizes not only her reputation, but her mental well-being. If you are indeed the one pushing this forward, then ethically and logically, your name, not your daughter's, your name should be on that docket. We know, and we know that you know, that federal lawsuits are extremely expensive. Your daughter cannot own the hairstyles that she's done with the hair on her own head. Stop it. It is extremely uncomfortable and heartbreaking to watch another young creator be placed at the center of something that should have remained a creative conversation rather than a federal case. We see that a part of her trademark application for her hairstyles is asking for it to be used in children's books, right? So your daughter's interested in writing children's books. Now tell me, how does it look to a child reading your daughter's future children's book?
Okay, I'm gonna say this much. They're trying to appeal to this lady, and I don't think this is gonna work. Clearly, this is a crazy person. You know what I mean, on a mission. But like I said, this goes to what I was saying earlier about I feel like this is damaging her brand. So I can honestly kind of see if it's like a stage mom type of situation or just an overzealous mother. Even more so, it makes more sense why this is happening in this way, because the mother is living through the daughter and feels like the daughter is getting something, her chance taken away. You get what I'm saying? Like it feels unhinged. It feels unhinged in a way.
And them looking up her name and seeing that she in her past filed a federal lawsuit on 2 other natural hair sculptors. How would a child make sense of that contradiction? The last thing that younger people and people in general want to see is creators battling each other in court over an art form that should remain to be freely practiced by everyone. So our true
Girl, I'm gonna tell you right now, she don't care. She do not care. This is about money. And she saw that you were set up to make some money that she thought should have been going to her or them. She does not care about none. I'm so sorry, baby. She do not care about none of the stuff you talking about, sweetheart. At all. I'm so sorry.
concern is, what example is truly being set for the next generation who's going to look back and watch this unfold the way it currently is? What is really going on here? We do not condone what is currently happening and being said to this other creator. It is extremely stressful for us to go through what we're already having to deal with, but it's even more upsetting to see people have these negative things to say about another young creator who is being sold a lie that they somehow legally own a hairstyle just because, like any other artist, she personally has a true attachment to what she does. It is normal, although we may not agree on her reasoning, it is completely normal to want to have any credit for an idea or
I'm sorry, but her little girlfriend just sitting there never saying a word is frying me. She ain't said nothing the whole time about video. She just sitting there nodding and looking still like, yes. She is sending me.
or concept that they believe they actually brought forward into a space. Although the shapes that she's done are not truly original, we understand her feelings. That doesn't mean people have to disrespect her. We think that she is being told a lie, and it's not ethical, it's harmful.
We have families, we have siblings, we care about the youth of this entire generation. We don't want to see anyone being torn down because they love their art and they just want to be heard. Everyone should be allowed to have a voice. So please speak as you need to, but do not lie. Do not try to destroy our business. Understand there's more to this than just money. This is for the children. Just like you have a vision for the children, we do too. And we should all be able to come together
Girl, she ain't got no vision for no children. She got vision for them pockets. She got vision for them pockets. She said, oh, commerce. Oh, merch. Oh, products. See, y'all opened her eyes. She wasn't thinking big. She was thinking small, and she knew she needed to be thinking big, but y'all was already thinking big. And that's what the problem was. Yeah.
There and create works of creativity to inspire them. Let's focus on that.
We're looking forward to working with your daughter whenever she's comfortable. I'm sure she'll come around eventually and see the bigger picture. But like I said before, I'm here for a greater purpose than drama. Online drama, please. This is not what I wake up every day hoping that I go viral over a hairstyle lawsuit. This is actually incredibly insane. Please stop wasting our time, our resources, and our mental energy because we all can do without this. The resolve.
She said, this is embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? I'm with you, girl. Because, online beef, get away from me with that, Apollo. Who wants that? Right?
Is greater than the conflict. Trust me. Please reconsider what you're doing to us right now because remember, we know that if you think that you can do this to us and we don't stand up, that you will continue to do this. And it ends with us.
They said what they said. They said what they said. It ends with, not on my... And I'm not making fun of this. This is very serious and I'm on their side. But not on my watch. That's what they said. The buck stops here. Yeah. She said they're really hamming it up. Listen, this is serious business. What Scar say? But we're talking kings and successions. Business. It's like, what's that called? Dynasty? Young and the Restless. They young and restless. The girls are fighting. You want something? Yes. The girls are fighting. National period. She said, this is some good motivation. Listen, they stirring the youth. Gotta save the kids. They're our future. What was I watching? And they said these are the kids that the kids that Whitney Houston was talking about. Not them specifically, but it was something else. It is their destiny. And that's what I'm thinking, right? I'm feeling like me and Alicia were talking earlier, and I was talking about like Afrofuturism and feeling connected to the past, the present, and the past, the present, and the future, and of our people and the things that have happened to us, and how the stuff that I'm trying to do right now in this space and time connects into that, and how I feel connected to, the things that our people have been wanting, needing, praying for, in those things. So I do feel like a divine, when it comes to these creative things, there is a a collective consciousness. And I feel like that we do, as artists and creators and things, human beings, we're able to tap into that collective intelligence and extract things as needed, in our spaces and time. And that's why I say I feel like it's patents and things like that are tools that unfortunately have been historically used against us as Black people and melanated people, that we do need to get fluent in being able to utilize those structures or whatever. But especially in this digital age where so many of the things that we just do and share move, create, shape culture globally. So this is a very important conversation. It is a conversation of the time. It's not frivolous in that, it is an issue, but it is frivolous in that the who's who she's going after. There doesn't seem to be any real rhyme or reason other than, like I said, to stop her from being able to do anything with it. You know what I mean? And to Solar's point, like it could have been, that's what I was saying, like it could have been something where they all came together, not just her, Zaina, Solar, and whoever else, to come together as a collective. Because ultimately, I feel like specifically when I saw Zaina and Solar, but mostly Solar talking about it, because like I said, this is just a small part of what Zaina does. But when I saw Solar talking about it, she's not just talking about like, oh, this is cute and this is something that I do and it's for my glory. It's about normalizing natural textured black hair as being, cute, as being put together, professional, all of the things. And that in and of itself is not a new idea or a new fight, but every time I've seen her talk about it, she's talking about it in terms of shifting ideas for everyone, not just for her. And so when I see this other person talking, all I'm seeing is I, me, which, like I said, totally within her right. Not wrong about, wanting to lock down ownership and lock down things so that, in my mind, like I said, outsiders wouldn't be able to come in because they've played in our faces with the bonnets and the different things going on. You know what I mean? So that's cool. But when you doing it to other people, like I said, it just very much so gives hater. It gives hater. It gives not good faith. It gives, just distasteful in a way that for the community, and especially with like the people that this would appeal to. It'll appeal to little girls and stuff like that, which is cute. You might be able to just slide with your BS with the little mommies that just want their kids to have the little cute shaped puffs. But when it comes to like the gamer community and this and that and the other, they're always gamers, cosplayers, this, that, and the other. Those people that would really get into wearing that as a regular, they're always going through some kind of discrimination. So I know this is rubbing them the wrong way. I know this is rubbing them the wrong way, and they would be your bread and butter. They would be your bread and butter. And like I said, seeing how the girl Quinn stuff is more avant-garde, I could see her, mind you. I have an idea. I haven't sat down and did the writing, but I was like formulating some world building on like a literary world years and years ago. I started drafting it, and then I just kind of, life happened. But in my mind, if I were to ever sit down and work that out and want to build that world, I would want that girl Quinn working on the hairstyles. I would want her to be styling the people for the movie or the show or the what, you know what I mean? Like I would want her to be doing the hairstyles. So that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like she's kind of missing her calling and things that she could be doing at a very high level right now, making a lot of money, getting all the notoriety and stuff she wants, because she's trying to stop them in their little lane that they're doing, for the children, for the little girls, just trying to normalize our natural creativity and our natural, what we have naturally. Where Quinn seems like someone who is more, I'm here, there are things you could be doing. Why are you trying to stop her? Them. I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to put this down here. I don't know if anybody, it's no pressure. But yeah, getting back. So we had our little sidebar, our little mystical extracurricular. But yes, that was relevant to the background of, like I said, what it is I'm trying to do. What it is I'm trying to do through my app. Why I feel like it'll be important. What it is that I'm doing and all of that. I maybe, let me see, because I've also been doing so many other stuff in this thing. Did you deliver it? Sorry, I went to like another part of my thing. See, I don't even remember which one I was in. This one can go because I don't even. Sorry, I'm looking at my ChatGPT. Yeah, I was going to try to like maybe get started on a little bit of stuff, but no, I'm not ready. I don't have that set up yet. So this was number one. Again, just to reiterate for anyone that is still watching, this is also for people in the replay. If you are interested in following me along this journey of trying to build this app myself, I'm saying that recognizing that it probably want to get to a point where I can't no longer do it, and I'll have to pass it off to more knowledgeable people. However, I'm always down for a little tinkering, a little passion project or whatever. So if you want to follow me through the process of like trying to figure this stuff out to the best of my ability up until I can't anymore, you will follow me on Patreon. I believe I have the link in the description box under the Birth Your Bag tier of my Patreon. That is a paid tier, because what's going to happen, I'll leave this one up because we're just kind of talking about relevant things. And I may need to switch the what's the face. Thank you. Yes, please like the video, share it with anyone that you think may like it or whatever. What was I saying? Yeah, so if you want to be able to watch the replays and stuff, you need to follow me on my Patreon under the Birth Your Bag paid tier. That is the highest tier, but I'm doing like, this is work. The stuff that I'm doing is work. Even the I told you, I mentioned in the beginning, for those who wasn't here, I made a 3-month content plan that I'm gonna start in January. And that was, I was like working on that last night. I was like, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. And so I'm saying all that to say, for at least this part, I'm comfortable with putting this in my Patreon. My other to my Patreon, depending, because when I'm telling you, I'm really like doing, you know what I mean, and everything layers on top of the other thing. Like, it ain't just haphazard stuff. So I'm really I'm able to bring you now my mind and lay it out in a way that I feel like is worthy of this medium and this audience and everything like that. So I'm very excited about the work that I'm going to be doing, and I've been like streamlining the process. She said, "Have you been looked into rent?" I haven't even got there yet, girl. Because by the time I get there, like, I'm trying to have enough to where I know, because I know I can't rent nobody's server. I know I can't rent nobody's server, right? But I'm trying to get to a point that when I get that, when I start shopping for investors, because this is the type of thing that's going to need investors, that I have so much done that it's like undeniable. You know what I mean? So, once we'll probably have to get to that point of the process at some point, but that's going to be down the line. Right now, I'm just trying to get like a preliminary little something to go, ooh, press the buttons. Just an outline of what it is that I would want it to do. She said, we'll talk, because that's going to dictate the app's capability, I'm assuming. Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know that what I'm looking to build and what I've laid out, I most definitely am not going to be able on my own from here be able to do what it is. It's going to take investment and everything, but I'm trying to really like make everything solid and, like I said, undeniable, so that we can just go. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Alicia. She said, forget 50-50 in submission acquisition. That's what I'm talking. Like it's time to move. It's time to move into some new stuff. Let's have some new conversations. Let's have some new subjects. And it's so interesting because it's like, I'm gonna answer this in one section. It's interesting because, like, as you can see, the stuff that's going on still fits into these types of angles that we can talk about it from. But it's just like, are y'all not tired of talking about stuff from the same angle or the same thing? We're not getting anywhere. Nobody cares. Like, let's. What else can we do? And what can we do for the children? For the children. Okay. What will the app be doing? So I'm going to go back to reading because I read you my. Why would start all over again? Why would you start all over again? The thing just updated on me, the chat GPT. I'm trying to go and find what I said. So basically, my prompt, I was trying to find my initial prompt. My prompt originally, when I first started this, was I want to build an app because African-American creators, I'm paraphrasing, African-American creators are the innovators of bits and trends and things that shape the culture online and everything. And I want to build an app where they can basically get and retain credit for being the originators of things that go viral, and that they can figure out that it's about to go viral before it goes viral, so they can position themselves to be able to monetize the way people monetize off of things like this. So you know how and I told the story and I showed the thing about the guy with the quarter zip thing on TikTok and how like it went viral, and then these other guys got involved, and then New York Times or whatever it was did a profile and they included those other guys, but the originator guy was kind of it came off like he was kind of like a secondary character in the story they were telling. And so it was like, I want us as Black people to be able to notice through this app, like, oh, my stuff is about to go viral. Let me get up the money to get a patent, or get up the money to get a trademark, or get up the money to get representation or whatever. Also, and can't nobody see you. Also, when it comes to making deals, there's another aspect of the app where companies and things will be on the other side, and people can make deals through the app. So it just creates transparency, and it'll be an asset for content creators to be able to navigate the business of content creation if they don't have the means to get actual representation. And it's just at a low level, at first, because eventually, hopefully you make it big enough where you can get the whole team and you can make those big deals, and you don't necessarily need the app. But for, like I said, though, the Jules LeBrons and the young man, I don't know his name, that did the quarter zip thing, and the renegade dance girl, and for people who just right away need to be able to lock their stuff in and verify that, hey, this is me, this is mine, this is who the app is going to be for. And even though I'm saying it's for us, it is for us, but everybody can use it. You know what I mean? Everybody can use it. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You need me?
Just gonna tell you that Wednesday's 10 a.m. dismissal.
Huh?
Wednesday's 10 a.m. dismissal.
10 a.m. dismissal?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means that Wednesday...
You know what it means? It means you're not going.
Yeah.
That's all that means. All right. Thank you. So yeah, temporary trademark. I will liken it to what they call my lips. They call it a poor man's copyright. You ever heard of the poor man's copyright? Like, they would be like, oh, you do whatever it is, you write it down and then you mail it to yourself, but you don't open it, so it has like a stamp of when it's something like that type of thing. So yeah. But in the mean, and it's more so because I don't know, the applications in my mind. Lawyers may use it, as a reference. Lawyers may use it as a reference point to be able to pinpoint and say, hey, like like in the case with these two ladies about the hair things. Somebody, if my app was already up and running, one of them would be able to say, yeah, like I originated. I mean, and she already kind of does. Like she's like, I started doing this, right? But then the other girl would be like, yeah, but see, it would be able to pinpoint specifically what made one go viral over the other. And so that would be the thing that that person could say, this is what differentiates my stuff from your stuff. You get what I'm saying? So very precise, very pinpointed. Because I'm about clarity. I'm about clarity. I don't like a whole bunch of mess. I like stuff to be resolved. I'm in people business, right? I like stuff to be resolved. Yes, because and that's the thing. And like I said, to me, I would hope that by making this app, that would just be a first step down the road of, expanding and expounding on what it would look like to regulate intellectual property. You know what I mean? I don't for one second think like, oh, yes, this is going to be the thing and it's going to stop here. But, like I said, getting into these kinds of conversations, thinking about things from this vantage point, from this perspective, from this angle and I want more than anything for us as Black people to start thinking of these things, because again, we innovate everything we touch. So if we're now becoming conscious of the way these things work and being proactive and savvy around these things in a way that we haven't before, and we've gotten raked over the coals so many times before. That's what I want to have. It's about the children. It's about the children. Let me stop. I'm not making fun. Mind you, I'm on their side. But girl, she's just so many words I want to copy. Right. It's so many things. So yeah, that who knows, right? Who knows? But that's what I'm going to be doing over here. So if you want to follow me on that journey, please make sure you like, share, subscribe. Also, if you want, it helps me. So share with as many people as possible. Like anybody that's talking about anything technical, even if they're like, I'll be on TikTok. Oh, my girlfriend is making a. You know what I mean? Just let people know, because the more we can get this going on, hopefully by the time that I'm able to start trying to raise money or whatever for stuff, the more the merrier. Also, again, this is staying up. This one is staying up because it's a preliminary. Yes, love evidentiary paper trail. Exactly. Thank you, Miss Lawyer. Thank you. Exactly. And I wanted to sit down with you. And I mean, I know this is not y'all specialty, but maybe y'all could direct me to, to start trying to, because I know I need to start building a team. You know what I mean? So that just came to my mind. Wanted to blurt that out there. But yeah, if you want to follow me and you want to be able to rewatch the lives that I do, they're going to be like work with me sessions on this. You're going to see this, the thumbnail that's on this. So that's how you'll know that this is part of that series. You'll want to go to my Patreon. You want to do the Birth Your Bag tier. And that is where these will be housed. They'll be public when I first do them. I'll leave them up for like 24 hours or so. And then they're going to go behind the paywall. So that's how that's going to work over here. But yeah, so thank you. And thank you for waiting during my our little intermission. But yeah, I will see you guys later in the places that I see you.